Hello everyone. In this video, we will be learning about glutamic acid production. Glutamic acid is an amino acid. Now, amino acids are required by living cells as building blocks of proteins and growth factors. They have extensive industrial applications. About 66% of the amino acids produced are used in the food industry, 31% are used as feed additives, 4% is used in medicine and cosmetics. The production of amino acids through fermentation process was initiated by Kinoshita, the person known as Kinoshita, Kinoshita, and the co-workers in 1956. They produced L-glutamic acid as the first amino acid by the fermentation method. Therefore, after this, various L-amino acids were economically produced by the use of various microorganisms. Of all the amino acid production process, L-glutamic acid is probably the most important in terms of the quantity that is being produced. Its main use is used as the flavoring enhancer. It is used as flavoring enhancers. You would have heard of monosodium glutamate. Usually in this Chinese food like noodles and gobi manchuri that you eat, in that we add a component known as Ajinomoto. Your Ajinomoto is known as monosodium glutamate, also known as MSG, which enhances and intensify the flavor of foods. Then, in Food and Drug Administration, this MSG is sanctioned as the status of GRAS, GRAS. GRAS means generally regarded as safe. So, FDA has approved that this MSG is generally regarded as safe, whereas when you take it, the acceptable daily intake is only 0 to 120 milligrams per kg of the body. If you're using this much per kg of your body weight, then this is generally regarded as safe. Now let us see the applications of glutamic acid. Glutamic acid is important in brain metabolism, hence various analogues of glutamic acids are used in treating various neuropathic diseases. Then monosodium glutamate, as I told you, it is used as a flavoring agent. It enhances the flavor in food. So therefore it is used in food industry. Then there is something known as polyglutamic acid, PGA. Now PGA, you would have heard of PVA, PBA, all these are bioplastic like things. So PGA is a naturally occurring anionic polymer that is biodegradable. So this can be used instead of a plastic. It is a good candidate of various industrial applications, like in industries it is used as a thickener. It is used in in food industry it is used as bitterness relieving agent. So if you add Ajinomoto, what happens is the bitterness of the food is gone. This glutamic acid is also used as a cryoprotectant. During cryopreservation it is used as a cryoprotectant. In cosmetics this is used as a, if hair is being damaged, then glutamic acid is used to restore the hair damage, and it is also used in preventing aging. So these are the various applications of glutamic acid. So therefore it has so many applications. It is very important for us to produce glutamic acid industrially. So let us move on to the industrial production of glutamic acid. Glutamic acid was first isolated from the seaweed Laminaria japonica in 1908. Commercial production started in Japan, followed almost immediately using extracts of soya protein and wheat gluten. Using wheat gluten and soya protein, initially they were producing glutamic acid in Japan. Later on, they found that various organisms are known to produce glutamic acid. Then they started with the production with microorganisms. So the microorganisms that are that can produce glutamic acids are Arthobacter, Arthrobacter, Brevibacterium, Corynebacterium, Microbacterium and Micrococcus. Species of Brevibacterium and Cornybacterium are used for most industrial fermentations. Cornybacterium glutamicum. This is the organism that is widely used. Cornybacterium glutamicum is widely used for glutamic acid production in industry. Moving on to the inoculum media preparation. Media for inoculum production is almost similar to all other organism. Media was first designed by Mischer in 1975. So the ingredients are, this is for 1000 ml of the media. So glucose 40 grams. So for 1000 ml it is 40 grams. Glucose 40 grams, K2HPO4 1 gram, MgSO4 7H2O 0.5 gram, yeast extract 1 gram, urea 8 gram, and water, the distilled water that you will be using here will be 1000 ml. So if you, this is the media composition. Now you have to incubate it for 16 hours in this inoculum media. After you inoculate the microorganism, that is Cornybacterium glutamicum, then the incubation period is 16 hours, and at 35 degrees Celsius you have to incubate this, because Cornybacterium is a bacteria, that's why it is 35 degrees Celsius. Then after you inoculate it in the inoculum medium, you have to inoculate it in the production medium. So let us see the composition of the production media. So glucose and starch hydrolysates are the principal raw materials for the fermentation of L-glutamic acid. Now instead of glucose, the other components that you can use, the cheaper products are molasses, ethanol, pentose, acetic acid, and other petrochemical products you can use. So for L-glutamic acid, the precursor is the biotin. Biotin is an important component that has to be added in the medium for L-glutamic acid production. Nitrogen source is a very important concept in production media. Nitrogen source plays a very important role, because this ammonia that is there in the media is the key component to convert in the production of glutamic acid. I will tell you how the ammonia plays the important role. So nitrogen source is urea and ammonia. Phosphates and other salts are added to the medium, and the pH is set to 8.5. Why the pH has to be set to 8.5 is, during glutamic acid production, the glutamic acid will change the pH of the media to acidic. If you keep it neutral pH, then the production media will completely become acidic, which will not be a favorable environment for the Cornybacterium glutamicum. So if you keep it alkaline, then during the production, your media pH will come down to neutral. That is why we will increase the pH to 8.5. Now moving on to the fermentation process. Industrial scale fermenters are used normally, and the mostly used fermenter is the stainless steel stirred aerated fermenters. This is an aerobic fermentation process. Usually batch fermentation is being carried out. The temperature is used is 30 to 37 degrees Celsius, and time is 30 to 35 hours of incubation is required for L-glutamic acid production. Aeration is controlled so that the carbon dioxide content in the exhaust gas does not exceed more than 4.5%. Then when you carry out the fermentation for 30 to 35 hours, then the yield of glutamic acid that we obtain is 100 grams per liter. Per liter we get 100 grams. So let us see how glutamic acid is actually produced inside a bacterial cell. So all of you know TCA cycle, which is nothing but a Krebs cycle. So during Krebs cycle, what happens? Initially, how the metabolism starts? The glucose enters glycolysis, wherein pyruvate is being formed. Pyruvate gets converted to acetyl-CoA. So then it enters the citric acid cycle or TCA cycle. So citric acid will get converted to isocitric acid, and there are further conversions. Finally, we get alpha keto glutaric acid. Now, this alpha ketogluteric acid is converted to glutamic acid. We will see how it is converted to glutamic acid. So from the Krebs cycle, alpha ketogluteric acid is formed. This alpha ketogluteric acid will give us L-glutamic acid. So the alpha ketogluteric acid will combine with the amino group, will take up the ammonia. It takes up amine group and it forms L-glutamic acid. You can see the ketone group here is converted to, has taken up the ammonia, forming L-glutamic acid, where a water molecule is released. The enzyme that is used here is glutamic acid dehydrogenase. For glutamic acid production, you have to know this formula, this equation, where how ketogluteric acid is converted to L-glutamic acid. This is a very important step for glutamic acid production. You have to write this equation in your exam, where alpha ketogluteric acid takes up ammonia to give L-glutamic acid. This is how glutamic acid is produced inside a bacterial cell. The enzyme that is used is glutamic acid dehydrogenase. So after glutamic acid is being formed, our last step is to obtain the product recovery and purification. So product recovery involves the separation of cells from the culture medium by the filtration technique. Then L-glutamic acid is the after it is being filtrated, the filtrate contains L-glutamic acid. So therefore we are going for a chromatographic technique, that is ion exchange chromatography is used here, where resins that is used L-glutamic through ion exchange chromatography we are going to perform we are going to extract the L-glutamic acid. Then after the purification of L-glutamic acid, it is being crystallized. L-glutamic acid is crystallized by lowering the pH to its isoelectric point. So the isoelectric point of pH is 3.2. So how do we lower the isoelectric pH? By using hydrochloric acid. By using hydrochloric acid, we will change the pH of this medium in the filtrate in which L-glutamic acid is there. We will change the pH of this filtrate to 3.2. So when you change the pH to 3.2, that is the isoelectric point of this L-glutamic acid, where it gets crystallized. Later, these crystals of L-glutamic acids are then washed. So if you are using it as a food additive, as an MSG, then the L-glutamic acid is treated with a solution of sodium hydroxide. It is treated with solution of sodium hydroxide. Therefore, it gets converted to monosodium glutarate. And that is all about the product purification, product recovery and purification. So if you have any doubts, you can message me. Thank you.